Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's video, we're going to be talking more about what's going on with Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about Orchid, NuCypher, and Ethereum. I'm going to run very quickly through the news. I'm actually going to try and make the news condense down even more so we can get into the charts and just kind of get to the point for a lot of this stuff. But we're in the last 1 minute. There we go. Actually, last 1 second. I just talked about that. And now we're on the new daily candle position, which is just now opened up at $38,325-ish. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Been keeping an eye on the chart over here on the side. And as you guys can see, it has been absolutely explosive on the way up right here. And there's some interesting news that just came out. So the daily candle closure was above $38,000, $38,300. And you guys can just see that it's going absolutely parabolic as of the time of me recording this video. Hopefully it's not going to take me very long to record this and have it processed and all that good stuff. So you guys get this pretty soon. I tried doing a live stream yesterday, and lo and behold, YouTube is like, no, we really don't want you to be discovered during your live stream. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I do my video uploads, we get good views on that, and did a live stream for much longer and got way less views. I'm like, all right. I covered a lot of stuff, so if you do want to check out the video yesterday, there's a lot of information that I covered, and you might want to skip just a little bit ahead in it. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and discuss some of the stuff going on with the news. I'm just pulling this up on the side because it is pretty interesting seeing how things move right off the bat on a new daily candle position. But now it looks like it's starting to pull back just a little bit as well. So I probably have some time to try and work with on this. We'll get back to the chart in just a little bit. So one of the first things I want to talk about is when I'm looking up for news regarding stuff with Bitcoin. Of course, I'm going to be going to one source, which is good old Google, and I'm seeing what's going on in the last 24 hours. And I've talked about this before. So if you guys are new to my channel, a couple quick things. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up like button, everybody. Let's try and get this video to 100 likes. So it would be greatly appreciated. And also click the bell icon so that you actually get notified when we have a new video or if I go live, something like that. I've also talked about Motley Fool before. Lo and behold, they got another article and they're doing this all the time. They're bashing on Bitcoin all the time. I'm so sick of it. I'm not even going to read this article at this point. I'm not going to give them the credit and the recognition of having the traffic SEO go towards them. The title is Forget Bitcoin, this stock is a better buy. I'm sick of it. I don't know what you guys think about them, but I'm tired of it. So let's focus on some other things that are going on. One of which is earning Bitcoin with each swipe, the credit card reward of the future. These cards think so. So you might be wondering which credit cards are looking at doing Bitcoin rewards. Well, you can look into this a little bit more, but there's BlockFi credit card, there's Gemini credit card, and there's also Fold cards. These are ones that we have going on so far. I know that Visa themselves are actually looking to do things even more direct through the banks. That was recently discussed, and we're still waiting to hear more information on that, but that's actually really exciting. And a quick side note that I want to talk about with BlockFi, if you guys have not actually heard about this, I'm not an affiliate with them. They're not paying me to say this stuff. I set up an account, and I've started earning an interest on this myself. And so if you guys want to check this out, there's a link in the description. And I actually decided to commit more to it because I kind of heard about it in the past. I wasn't sure about whether I wanted to look into it more or not. And then I saw that Crypto Lark. Oh, wait, Crypto Lark? Wait, uh-oh. Yeah, I think his name's Crypto Lark. Dang, now I know it's Lark. I think it's Crypto Lark. I just drew a blank for some reason in my brain. I'm having a brain fart, right? So anyways, so I saw him mention that, yeah, he does do this as well. And I felt a little more validated. I really like his opinion on things. He seems like a really chill guy. Maybe one day we'll be able to collaborate on something. But with BlockFi, they have different interest reward systems. Don't expect these to stay the same. They already had changed a little bit. I saw an older guy's video from, I think, last year, and Bitcoin at the time was like 8.5% interest. So that was probably to try and get a little bit of momentum going on for people to start proactively using their system. And yes, this basically just works on a loan-based system. So for example, like you're going to get an interest on staking your Bitcoin on there because someone else needs to get some cash, right? Maybe they want to go and buy more Bitcoin themselves, but they don't want to have to sell their Bitcoin. This is what a lot of people are doing with this right now. So think about like the main demographic with it. So like, I don't want to sell my Bitcoin. So they have to give up collateral. So they're going to give up some of their Bitcoin, which they're going to be able to get back as long as they pay off their stuff. But they want that cash now to put into the market. Right? So they go ahead and they get that cash, they put it into the market, they got to pay an interest rate, and then because they have a collateral that's set up, that's giving it on the back end for being able to reward out the people like me who decide to not take out a loan. I just want to put it in and make an interest. I'm giving you the Bitcoin to be able to loan out to them. Does that make sense? So by doing so with this, you can get up to 2.5 Bitcoin in there and earn 6%. From my understanding, it looks like anything that's above 2.5%, that extra amount will get 3%. So from my understanding, let's say you have 2.5 Bitcoin, that will get 6%. And if you have 3.5 Bitcoin, you'll get 2.5 at 6%, and then one extra Bitcoin will only get 3%. So you're still getting the 6%, but you get the 3% on the extra. That's what I understand. But you can do these other ones. You can choose if you want it all to be payout in one specific thing. Now I'm rambling on this a little bit more. I'm probably going to be talking about this more in each video, but obviously I'm going to try and make it really short. My point is that I haven't really talked about this much before. I did talk about it in the live stream. If you guys want to check this out, I got a referral link. There's a bonus thing that they have as of the time of this video. They would give you something and give me something. Hopefully that's still working. And yeah, if you guys want to check it out, I see it as something that's really valuable. So if you don't plan on accessing your Bitcoin real soon, you're going to have it sit there for a while, why not get an extra interest on it? And this is actually has Gemini as the custodian, which is really cool. So I don't want to ramble on about that anymore. Oh yeah, I was trying to see if there was any stuff going on with NuCypher because it was going crazy. And I'm going to run through these real quick, and I'm going to get to the charts because, again, I don't want to waste your guys' time. So news overnight was mixed, with an Australian central bank official telling lawmakers in the country that Bitcoin is not a payment instrument and it's not even real money, while Twitter and Square CEO Jack Dorsey tweeted that he had set up his own Bitcoin node. And that's actually stated right here. He says running hashtag Bitcoin. You guys can see that node system that he got set up, which is really cool. Another guy was actually captured. He was doing a lot of fraud stuff with Bitcoin. Authorities in the Bavarian town of Kempten in Germany are in a pickle. Good thing it's not a cucumber. No. They have in their possession more than 1,700 Bitcoins worth roughly $64 million at the time, according to Coinbase, but they lack the password to access the cryptocurrency. That's a big oof. The police seized the Bitcoins from a fraudster who refused to give up the password, according to Reuters. The man has since served his 2-year term and went the entire time without revealing the password, leaving authorities at an impasse. The police weren't sure if the man was just withholding the password or simply forgot. While there are some digital wallets that allow you to reconstruct your Bitcoin holdings, even if seized, it's unclear how these were stored. They said they're not available for more comment. Bitcoin is among many cryptocurrencies that have become popular over the years, yada yada. So yeah, it's actually a quite substantial amount, and this guy is now out and about. So the question is, like, is he going to be able to access this stuff? He only served 2 years, and you know, maybe he can't go to other countries or something. I don't know. It's a lot of money. Now, about demographics. This is interesting. Only 15% of Bitcoin traders are women, highlighting a massive gender imbalance in the world of cryptocurrency, according to new data from eToro. The situation is similar with Ethereum, which saw the percentage of female investors slightly rise to 12% from 11% at the beginning of 2020. While the percentage of female investors slightly increased at the beginning of 2021, the number is dismally low. Come on, ladies. You watching this? Anyone out there, you never got into crypto? You got to help represent. Let's go. If we see from the research study that men are on average more inclined to be overconfident, that overconfidence could be helping to drive the heavier representation of men in these much more speculative markets, Kramer said. It really takes a bit of hope and a prayer to believe that these assets are going to be long-term, reliable investment performers. This makes young people grossly overrepresented in Bitcoin trading. According to the ONS data, 563,000 people aged 44 years old and younger held stocks and shares ISAs, which was just 24% of all investors. Now, looking at some of the stuff that's going on over on the Twitter side. As we just talked about the node from Jack, the guy from Twitter, the Ukraine government is now considering building a Bitcoin mining center to use the country's excess nuclear power. Absolutely interesting with that too. I'm also doing more poll stuff. I've actually kind of started steering my way towards that direction. If you guys want to check me out on Twitter, my handle is in the bottom left-hand side, @AtlasOfficialTV. And I'm talking about stuff going on with the Wall Street bets. I'm talking about things with Bitcoin. I'm going to try and retweet more often whenever I see interesting things like, let's go ahead and say this. Bam. So you guys can try and stay up to date. Maybe there's something slipping through the cracks and you guys want to know a little bit more, or see how the general public is viewing things, their sentiment in that time. That's why I'm going to be doing a lot of these polls. So you guys can check me out on Twitter. And then CZ, this is another interesting thing, stuff going on over in Nigeria. So Nigeria's central bank has now prohibited banks from processing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency transactions. The country ranks second in peer-to-peer Bitcoin volume. CZ from Binance responded back. He said, received notice from our channel partners that NGN deposits and withdrawals will be affected. Still confirming details on when and how. Please withdraw your NGN as early as possible to avoid potential channel issues. We'll share more details as they become available. So this is devastating for the people in Nigeria. A lot of people that were over there were actually looking towards things like Bitcoin as a form of trade because they don't exactly got a lot of banking systems. And it looks like the few banks that are there are now kind of cracking down and just trying to help monopolize things even more, which is sad because Nigeria really needs to try and get uplifted and to try and start moving forward, you know, and this was a position in time where that was something that was possible. But now them restricting something like this could end up crippling them more. Hopefully they change their perspective view on this, and I wish them the best of luck with everything. There's not much more else that I can actually say on something like that, you know. Now we go ahead and hop over to the charts. Let's go take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has broken out and established itself very well above this symmetrical triangle pattern. So we are no longer in this position. We're now actually 1, 2, 3, 4 days of closure above that. We need to reestablish where things are actually going now. And we have a long trend history that's been showing here, but in a short time period frame, we're actually showing positions that are actually climbing up more into this kind of a standard. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is just pivot this around. And as you guys can see, this is actually looking like it's forming potentially a bullish pennant right about here. You guys take a look at that. This is looking like a bullish flag pennant position, suggesting that we could actually have a further continuation up. We're seeing 1, 2, 3 different instances of, let's get that zoomed in a little bit more right there. There we go. We're seeing positions all occurring as they zoom in even more. Just keeps slipping right through me right there, right? Okay, that looks a lot better. Sorry about that, guys. So that's at $38,584. Right now, we are at $38,475. Ended up just having a little bit of a bounce underneath that. And right now, we're needing to try and break above that position point. We had temporary moments, very, very brief moments that covered above those zones. So if we can actually maintain a position above 38,575, then I would really be looking at us starting to gain some momentum heading back towards the all-time high of $42,000. 40,000 is going to be critical though, right? Breaking above 40,000 as a psychological level is going to be so important. We got to try and do that first before we can get to $42,000. If we break $42,000, a run towards 45, then 50,000 is going to look absolutely amazing. There was a chart that I was looking at earlier and I don't know where that went, so I do apologize about that. But it's actually suggesting that we could end up seeing Bitcoin going all the way up, right? All the way up to $100,000 in April and about $384,000 or so in the middle of May of what year? This year, which is absolutely crazy. It had a wide spectrum, but the line that was drawn was suggesting during those points. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that that's something that's potential we could end up seeing, moving towards that kind of a route? In fact, you know what? Let me go and talk a little bit more about this. I can head back over to Twitter real quick because I was telling you guys I've been running some more polls on things, right? So if I actually go to my profile and you guys can see my tweets right here, these are some of the questions. I know we're talking about cryptocurrency right now. A lot of stuff's been going on with Wall Street bets and with stocks. So AMC has been having a lot of shenanigans, right? So when you see AMC passing $10 again, you can see that we got 341 votes. Nobody really liked this stuff. So if you guys do check me out on Twitter, it would definitely help out with the engagement and for more people to see this and voice their opinion too. If you guys do drop likes or retweets and things like that, besides voting in the polls or checking out the other info. So it definitely helped me out a lot. But yeah, so you guys can see that just from this alone, it's actually suggesting that the majority of people think AMC is never going to hit 10% again. And then just slightly below that, people are thinking Monday. So the most general consensus is either never or it's going to do it on Monday. And then there's broken up. It's all pretty close in percentages overall. And it's only 341 votes, which is still a fairly decent number. But obviously, the more numbers that we get, I think a little bit more accurate the general consensus is with that. But let's talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Sorry to distract you from that. It's the first time that I've actually shared that I'm starting to go in this direction here. I said, do you see Bitcoin hitting $75,000 before June this year? And 51.6% of people so far have said yes. This is only out of 31 votes, though. So this one is actually a very low poll. And then 48.4% do not think that 75,000 by June is possible. And then we got also, if you bought Bitcoin today on February 5th, at approximately $37,650, do you think your value would be up or down 1 month from today, right? And 63.2% of people would say yes, they do think that it would be up from this price point. So if the majority of people think that it would be up, the question is, of 63.2% of people, how many people have actually bought Bitcoin? I think that's a large question, right? Because if they say yes, they think it's going to go up, but they didn't actually buy any Bitcoin, they don't own any Bitcoin, it's kind of a weird statement to think, right? It's like, I believe it will make more money, but I'm not going to invest in it. It's like, why? Maybe because they think that it won't make more money, but they just said, you know, it's very confusing with this kind of stuff. Loopring has been doing some crazy stuff lately, and I asked if Loopring has the potential to hit $1, when that's going to be. So a lot of people think that in the next 24 hours, 44.3% of people think that Loopring will hit $1 in the next 24 hours. Aside from that, people are thinking 1 week, and then the smallest majority of people think before the end of February. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the charts over here. And yeah, so if this decides it wants to rally up, those are the key levels we're going to be looking at on the way up. On the way down, we have some support at $38,000. A further drop down below that would be at $35,429. We got the 21 EMA being established with this crossover line. That's at $34,800. Wait, no, sorry. We're in the new daily candle position. I was looking at the wrong one there for a second. So 21 EMA is at $35,000. Those are significant levels to look at for Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and head over to Ethereum. And over on the Ethereum side, we had another nice daily candle closure on the upside. And there seems to be a little bit of a bounce action right around $1,750, which is something that I was expecting. It passed slightly above to $1,767. And now it's trying to work its way back up. Just as of the time of this video, it's slightly below that position. If it can break above $1,750, then we're looking at $2,000 as the next significant psychological changing point on something like this. Breaking above $2,000, I think a lot of people are going to feel more sentiment in saying, hey, I think this could go to $2,500 next. Especially with it being the #2 cryptocurrency on all of the cryptocurrencies that are out there, right? So let's keep an eye out for that at the $2,000 mark. If this decides that it wants to drop back down, we have a major level of support at $1,427. Just slightly below that, you can actually see I had a previous line set up right here, which now coincides with the 21 EMA as well. So very, very strong support at $1,411. That would be a substantial decline from where we're at right now. But if it was to happen, and that'd be a huge red candle as well, I would be looking at the fact that there is more than likely a very strong level of support, a safety net at that price point, right around $1,410. If for some reason it was to even go further beyond that, we're talking about really bad news, right? Then we could be seeing like around 1,382. Let's go ahead and go take a look at what's going on with Orchid. Orchid had another green day, absolutely kicking butt. And I talked about this over on Twitter. So if you average 5% per day, as in the last 30 days, it looks like we've had 11 days that have had a 5% gain, right? So let's just say you were able to, and it was at least 5% gain. We have some days that were like 11% or 15% and stuff like that. So let's just say we average 5% every single day. We maintain that for Orchid for 1 month. That would put it over $1. We'd be at approximately $1.02. So people that have been waiting for it to try and head back towards this previous all-time high position, all you would need is a 5% on the daily increase of whatever that current price is, every day to be able to maintain, to be able to hit that. I'm not talking 10%, 25%, 50% gains every single day. No, I'm talking 5%, which I think is a very doable position when you do an average out. Some days you have lower, some days you have absolutely explosive. It is a lower market cap type coin, so it's easier to get those high percentage gains on a single day than it is for something that has a ton of money already invested into it, right? So that's something that I think you guys should definitely keep in mind. We're above 43 cents. This is holding very well. Right now, we got to push past 45 cents, which is a psychological point. You can even see on the points right here that it had a bounce earlier today, right around that 45-cent range. And then let's get above and establish a daily closure would be great above 48 cents. That's on the Fibonacci sequence here. Heading above 48 cents, we're going to push towards 50 cents, which is obviously halfway towards the $1. And you may think that this just sounds too basic, but guess what? These are fundamentals. So yeah, we're talking about psychology here, and a lot of people are going to be wondering whether or not they should take profits at 50 cents. So it makes perfect sense, right? It's logical. It's common sense. And $1 is a big peak level that we're trying to push towards. If we can break above $1, then $1.22 on the Fibonacci is suggestive of another major turning point. At a peak level off of the sequence, we'd be looking right around $1.40, and anything past that point is now opening up into the realm of big opportunity. We're talking about price discovery zone, and the sky is the limit. If you just want my personal opinion, my own belief, I'm not a financial advisor. I love Orchid. This is my personal favorite altcoin. I think that this thing very well can go to $20, $25 at least, because the fact that it has the same total supply as Chainlink. It has a very, very close amount of circulating supply like Chainlink. Orchid has a lot of new things besides just the VPNs that will be coming out in the future. And so it has a very bright, promising future. And I should be expecting, and everyone else should be more than likely expecting this too, higher levels of demand as it goes into more marketplaces that are able to utilize it. So that's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be very exciting, right? Now, if it decides that it wants to go back down, then the levels we should be concerned with right now, because it is pulling back a little bit here on the daily candle position. We're going to see a level at 42 cents approximately. Another further level down below that is going to be at 37 cents or 0.3716. And a further decline even below that is actually at the 21 EMA, which is lining up pretty close as a median point with a lot of this stuff. So that 21 EMA is at 33 cents, 0.3336, and that would be a very, very big candle on the way down. As you guys can see, it tries to rally really hard. Lo and behold, there's a lot of sell pressure. Tries to rally these wicks. Just look at all these wicks on the top, man. Wants to rally up, and then people shove it down. Rally up, down. Rally up, down. Massive gains, people taking their profits, going every single day, and now here's a little bit of a red candle so far. So the question is, which direction is this going to take place next? Right now, we're still in the positive zone. We're still above the 21 EMA. The only drawback to this is we did see an increase in volume recently, which is suggesting there might be a decrease in volume and activity. So this might either go sideways or just have selling pressure, and that's it, just going down some. And it's also an overbought territory. So this on the RSI side, from a fundamental side, that's suggesting that it's more than likely going to have some selling pressure as it tries to re-enter back towards the median zone on this and cool down a little bit before it decides it wants to continue back up. Ideally, if it was to close out today on a negative side, obviously the smaller amount the better. If it needed to have a couple days to consolidate in that kind of space, that's fine. As long as we could stay above 40 cents, I think we're going to be really good. I don't want to see us go back into the 25-cent range really anymore at this point. Let's just get towards that 20, 25 bucks. You know what I'm talking about. And lastly, let's look up NuCypher. And looking at NuCypher, NuCypher had an absolutely parabolic push yesterday. Shwoom, that thing just massive skyrocket to the moon. That thing went all the way up to 69 cents. Nice. And then came right back down, closed out at 54 cents. Not so nice with that, but still overall a very nice daily candle gain. Huge amount of volume on that daily position. I would be very cautious, guys. This is very overbought on the RSI position, and this is suggesting that we could see a huge pullback today, as this was just so much in gains from yesterday, and a lot of people are going to be trying to take profits. So if it decides it wants to drop down, I'd be looking at 41 cents as a potential level of support. We already had a lot that was being taken off from the top from yesterday. A further level down below that would be at 35 cents or 0.36. Another level down below that, we're looking at around 32 cents. And 21 EMA, really far drop down, is at 29 cents. Break above this level, it actually bounced right off of that off of the Fibonacci, which is great. That was at 56 cents. And let's get back above the 69 cents, and then we start heading up to 82 cents and working our way even further up. We pass that dollar zone. So $1 is a big milestone, objective goal. We're a little bit over half the way there at the moment at 53 cents, but it still has quite a ways to go. And that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video, guys. If you're new to the channel, once again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, like button, hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever there's a new video or new update, anything like that, new live stream or whatever. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about all this news. If there's anything you think I may have missed that's important, if you want to say hello to me. And also go check me out on Twitter, @AtlasOfficialTV. I plan on doing a lot more of these polls. I actually really like doing them, and I'm curious to see what else we can come up with and hopefully get a lot more engagement with it. So feel free to like and retweet that stuff so we can try and get more public opinions on it. I don't want it to be biased and stuff, you know? Let's get general consensus. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode.